Hey there, Canaanites. It's my great pleasure to welcome you back for Season 2 of Hunt the Truth. We've got quite a bit to go over, so let's get to it. The new season, much to everyone's surprise, is going to be narrated not by Petra, but by Pharaoh, the infamous insurrectionist who helped Ben get to the truth in our last season and saved his ass on several occasions. The season technically starts with 2 episodes. The first is something of a primer, much like how Ben started his series out. There's not much to say other than we learn that Pharaoh is our main character and that it properly sets the tone for the season. That latter comment really only makes sense once you've actually listened to the episode itself. The season properly starts with episode 0. We open with Pharaoh giving quite the speech to a crowd, and it's clear that it's not been long since Ben was arrested by the UEG on galactic television. As Pharaoh speaks, we hear something strange, a voice noting,
"Got visual on Pharaoh."
As Pharaoh continues to speak and the crowd gets more energetic, the military voices keep interrupting, making note of the crowd, the number of people, and making it clear that they're ready for some action. Pharaoh's speech continues, the crowd starting to chant, "Free Giraud," and people beginning to scream for the nuking and burning of government property. Pharaoh tries to calm the crowd, pointing out the futility of such actions, as history has proven, but the crowd continues to rile up, as noted by our observing military personnel. Soon, an old insurrectionist speaks up, a man who had been with the Freedom and Liberation Party on Mamor in 2511, and he starts to question Pharaoh's ideas. Now, interestingly, this is actually a nice callback to a few pieces of fiction. Mamor first appeared in the classic Halo audio series I Love Bees, and then again in Halsey's journal, which specifically notes the bombing of 2511. Another insurrectionist uprising took place in 2537, which was put down by Spartan 3 Alpha Company, and Spartan B312 participated in a counterinsurgency op in 2552. This mission demonstrated the Spartan's abilities as a Saber pilot, and his actions there were key to his reassignment to Noble Team later in that year. But anyway, back to the story. The old man is pretty much ready to start a confrontation with Pharaoh, prompting our military guys to spring into action. From origins unknown, the ODSTs deploy into the crowd, shooting at what they refer to as rebel rats and extracting Pharaoh. From here, we learn that everything we thought we knew about her is a lie. As it turns out, Pharaoh was just a cover. In reality, she was Commander Maya Senkar of ONI Section 3, and she has been undercover for 5 years. And while shocking, it explains quite a bit about Pharaoh's legendary abilities, such as her ability to fund Ben when he really needed it, and might even shed some light on Petrovsky's actions at the end of Season 1. While it was Meshach that introduced Ben to Petrovsky, it's entirely possible that Meshach was introduced to him by Pharaoh. Who knows? So Maya Senkar is pretty angry about suddenly being extracted in the middle of a crowd and demands to know what's going on. We then hear from a new character, her apparent handler, Noah, who informs us that someone from the top ordered her extraction. In the background, we can hear that another ODST team is cleaning up, much to Maya's shock. As Noah and Maya talk, we learn quite a bit about Maya's original mission and the fate of Petra Janashek. As it turns out, Maya was sent after Ben to ultimately create more regional stability, which Noah claims had been achieved. Petra, meanwhile, had continued her hunt for the truth as she promised, but was eventually picked up by Oni. Noah goes on to explain that after Ben had been arrested, he had been ordered to remain out of contact, and that now Oni is changing, especially in the wake of Maya killing 2 fellow agents, which we saw her do as Pharaoh last season. She quickly defends her actions, noting that she was ordered to do it, and while Noah is aware, he says that someone is using those actions as a political move of some kind. Pissed at first, Maya reveals that she had actually looked up the agents that she had killed. One had a 3-year-old daughter, the other had been a year behind her at the academy. Both were young. God, I can't imagine being able to sleep after learning that. The conversation continues, and we learn that Maya was the one who killed Meshach, but apparently not with her issued weapon, which seems to be one reason she's being brought in. As Maya shifts the conversation about re-establishing her cover, a soldier reports the casualty reports from the extraction have come in. 26 rebels down, 2 VIPs, and 41 wounded but survivable. The conversation between Maya and Noah comes to an end as we learn that Maya is being brought to Midnight Facility. If you haven't read Halo the Thursday War or the early issues of Halo Escalation, that may not sound familiar. Midnight Facility is a place where Oni locks up individuals when they disappear. Daniel Clayton, the illegitimate son of Captain Cutter and an insurrectionist, was sent there following his attempt to destroy Infinity, and Geklar was held there before breaking out in December of 2557. Now, this part is major speculation, but another possible inhabitant of Midnight Facility is Mickey Crespo, former Spartan 4. Now, it was never stated what happened to Mickey after he was arrested and handed over to June A266, but it seems like the best place to hold a traitorous Spartan would be a secret Oni facility, especially since Oni originally wanted Buck to hand over Mickey to them. Further, Alan Tudyk, the voice actor for Mickey, has been confirmed as part of the cast for Season 2. However, it is entirely possible that he's playing a new character. Jennifer Hale, the voice actor for Sarah Palmer, was in Season 1, but as Gabriela Dvorak. Still, how cool would it be to hear from Mickey again? Anyway, the episode shifts to narration by Maya as she talks about how Oni doesn't truly understand the cost of lives, only seeing them as numbers. How to Oni, the 67 casualties were just insurgents. To Pharaoh, they were people. She knew them, many on a personal level. However, after 5 years of being Pharaoh, she wasn't quite sure how she should feel as Maya, the Oni agent. And that's episode 0. It's a hell of a start and really just flips everything on its head. While nothing is ever the same the second time, it's hard to imagine what Season 1 would be like a second time through given what we've learned just in this first episode. All along, Pharaoh was an Oni agent. How long has she been working Ben for Section 3? How aware was she of Section 2's intentions for Ben? And were they aware of Pharaoh? Shit. And now, with everything she's been through, especially in light of this recent incident, it seems like Pharaoh might be ready to defect from Oni. Frankie wasn't kidding when he said this season would escalate much more quickly than Season 1. But we're not done yet. There's way more to discuss. Next on the block is the Hunt the Truth Tumblr itself. It's had quite the overhaul with a very clear Oni presence. It seems that Sync Oni Saren Osman herself has locked down the page, noting that it's only meant to be viewed by members of Section 3. I have to wonder if we can expect more changes as the story unfolds. Imagine Maya/Pharaoh leaving Oni, the page becoming locked down, and then Pharaoh hacking back in to communicate with us. It'd be a small thing, but a cool way to immerse fans further into the story, assuming that's the direction it goes. Next up is the Triad Twitter account. This account was our first hint at the return of Hunt the Truth, other than the actual announcement way back when. In the Halo universe, the Triad is a religion that was started by one Das Gavadim. Through video seminars, he taught people about the 3 lives that everyone has and how linking them would lead to spiritual transcendence. When Dusk disappeared, it was believed that he had finally achieved what he preached, and the religion he left behind boomed in popularity. In reality, he had left to Beta Gabriel under a false identity. When he was discovered by a UNSC linguistics expert, one Connor Breen, during a Juralhani occupation in 2552, Dusk killed Connor to preserve the beliefs of his followers. So, what does the Triad have to do with Hunt the Truth? It's way too early to say, but keep an eye on the Twitter page at Our3Lives. You never know what they may tweet. Such as video clips like this, our last thing on the chopping block. Originally tweeted on September 21st, 2 more clips were posted by Ready Up Live and Podtacular on YouTube. The clips are set on Meridian, a planet we know we're going to be visiting in Halo 5, and all appear to be some sort of helmet cam. The first one is unique among the 3 with its own aspect ratio, but doesn't really show much. The binary on the side doesn't translate into anything I can make out, and while it sounds like there might be Morse code in the background, I haven't seen anyone translate it, and that's assuming I'm not hearing things. The second 2 clips are certainly more interesting as both clearly show cameras attached to people given the shakiness, and both feature a siren in the background, like a disaster is hitting or about to hit. So what do the clips mean? Personally, I'm thinking these are set when a Guardian is awakening on Meridian, whenever that may be. If not, it at least has to be related to Cortana's line from Halo 5, Meridian is next, you have only 3 days. But we'll see. And of course those 2 might not be mutually exclusive. Perhaps Cortana was hinting at the awakening of a Guardian, though it seems kind of early given that that was set in March of 2558, and our main story in Halo 5 is set in October, it seems. Other clips have since been released, but don't really provide any more insight into their purpose. Although, one does have some audio, a woman saying, "John, I need help." And that's it for this breakdown. Hunt the Truth Season 2 is off to a huge start, and while shorter than Season 1, it already seems like it's going to have a much bigger impact. But again, that's all for now. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, keep shining bright. Hey guys,